fuck it. This is the right
All right, we're
time.
going live.
Mhm.
Well, and just for the language purposes, sounds like a good idea to me. I'm all for it. Attorney Dion Journey Dion Powell Esquire. I see that. I see that. I see that. That could be powerful. That sounds really dope. Yeah. That sounds.
How? Give me the signal when you I guess it's called an impression. You know when you share it and you have that situation.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. To be honest with you.
All right, well, let me just check. I'm gonna try to share it now, but I usually wait a few minutes. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's not ready yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm setting it up now.
Okay. That's what I meant. Whenever you're done.
Done.
Yeah, let's see. Ah, okay. This is cute.
Yeah, thank you. Cute is not the word I was going for, but definitely making it easier to.
Okay. All right, there goes that.
All right, let me just. Hello, everybody. I don't know if anybody's in yet. Dion Powell Esquire does have a little touch to it, don't it? I bet you never thought about that, right?
I have, but I've been trying to avoid it because I wanted to get a PhD and be like a professor or something, but it is what it is. It's going to be a very good tool in this political game.
Well, I guess that would make a lot of sense if you're going for. That's getting an echo effect. Turn down the volume. I guess if you're going for if you want to be in politics, the law makes more sense. Sounds like you're about to jump back into school.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it. I'd love to. I really don't have time for it. Trying to get my team on it so that we can get started. Because I know you love your boy Trump, but I don't know, man. He's not making it harder and harder for you.
No.
That's what I expected. It's exactly what I expected. Could have been any different. I'd have been disappointed. True story. Very true story. What's going on with my guy? Do I have to call him? I love it when I have to call him. It's always like, come on, bro. Just because, like, other members of the team jump right on it, like, without question. But he runs the team. So I gotta call him. Unless somebody else is in his effect. On his number. let them know we about to really dig into this. We have a lot to talk about, but you can see where we're probably going to focus on. Oh, I love it when I'm having to wait to get started. And we live, so I guess we can be discussing some things. I apologize. Trying to get my team going. It's Super Bowl Sunday though. So it's like it's a little bit harder getting everybody revved up
Yeah, because
than
you're in
a
the fourth
regular
quarter now.
day.
Let me check. The Super Bowl was very controversial this year. Bad money. Let's see.
Only controversial in certain realms.
Actually, we're in the third quarter.
Yeah,
Seahawks is
it's a
doing good.
blowout.
Well, I don't know about that, but yes.
When the other team doesn't score and you keep scoring, I guess that's can be considered a blowout. What is happening? I'm getting aggravated here. I'm trying to get going now. This is when I'm gonna have to just start getting a little bit more tense on people. Hate when I have to threaten to replace people, man. That's what I'm gonna have to do at this point. Let's get people on top of their shit. I'm gonna have to be like, you know, have somebody else running the team. Hell, man, you're getting harder and harder to catch. We've been on waiting for 5 minutes. Do I need a backup in case you can't make it? You sure I don't need a backup? Because this is like making me nervous here. Okay. All right. Well, sometimes I feel like a nut, and sometimes I don't. Anyway, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I've never listened to Bad Bunny's music, but I don't think that somebody that is hired to come into the country to perform should have to worry about the government interfering with them or their performance during one of the biggest sporting events of the year. I think that that is a disgusting thought. We're talking about hired talent to perform. Why should that be controversial?
He's a controversial artist. You see, people may forget history. Remember that halftime show with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake with the wardrobe malfunction? Leo? Wasn't that controversial back in the day? They tried to destroy her, but not Justin Timberlake, who ripped it off? I don't know.
Okay, that is all true. But what does that have to do with Bad Bunny?
Well, these celebrities are very controversial, and the fan base itself has a right to protest and, get on the advertisers and say we don't like certain things. Some people believe that Bad Bunny, with his political differences with the president is not kosher, amongst other, artistic choices of his.
So he should be banned from performing because of his political ideology? What? Are you serious? This is America. This freedom of speech. You just said that he should be banned from performing because of his political ideology. That is everything wrong with MAGA. No, it's the beginning, but it's the big tipping point. That's everything wrong with MAGA.
Well, Turning Point did have its alternative family-friendly halftime show to counter this. So I wonder how much their ratings were. Remember back in the day in Living Color, they're the ones that actually inspired the halftime show. So we'll see if Turning Point was able to siphon on some of those viewers.
Perhaps, or perhaps like me, most Americans just don't care about Turning Point.
Some Americans do care about the Super Bowl. Some people care about wokeism being inserted in all this other stuff of entertainment. So,
And what is your definition of woke?
well, inserting a whole bunch of extra liberal ideology. For example, a lot of people were against Bad Bunny because he makes out with other men on stage.
You went on for the tangent.
Okay.
What is your definition of woke?
Well, extreme liberalism.
That has nothing to do with what woke is. That is what MAGA and Donald Trump have tried to transform woke into. It
Why
has
don't you tell us what
nothing
woke
to
is?
do with what woke is.
Tell us what woke is, my friend.
Woke is being aware of what's going on around you. If you're not woke, you sleep. You woke, power to the people, brother. Woke means knowing what's going on around you. Full stop. Now, MAGA claims in and woke is a bad thing. It's liberalism. It's this. That's not what woke is. Woke is being aware. Is being fully aware of what's going on around you. That's all woke means. Now, that's the etymology of the word. Etymology is big words, and you may know what that is. You're talking about studying to be an attorney. Most of your American friends is like, why is he using big words, Uncle Bobby? I'm gonna explain woke to those of you who don't understand. The concept of woke came around during the civil rights era. When the concept was first originally being used, it was for those that were looking around and could see what was really happening versus what the propaganda government tried to inform the masses, much like is what is happening today. So, even more than ever, no, just as much as then, the term woke means what it means and should be respected. Unless you're on the MAGA side of the field where, woke is bad. Martin Luther King was just a dunce. Was it you said about Rosa Parks last week, right after the Black History Month began?
I said there was somebody before Rosa Parks, but she didn't fit the narrative. So he's also from the
That's
Bronx.
not all you said. You said other things. You said something that started that. You don't recall?
Well, like a lot of other paradigms in the civil rights movement, I did say before Rosa Parks was a Republican. Maybe that was it.
Reform was a Republican. Don't think so.
You don't think Rosa Parks was a Republican? Martin Luther King, Reverend Doctor, was a Republican. Blacks were Republicans back then. It was a good, cool thing to do.
Yeah, before the party switched and turned into the MAGA party, right?
Before the
Well, it
Democrats
switched before. It
squashed it.
switched before Trump. In all fairness, it switched decades before Trump. But no, no. In the 80s, Reagan, I don't think Dr. Martin Luther King would have been down with Reagan.
I think he would have because Ronald Reagan did sign Black History Month into law. Did you know that?
You asked me that last time. Let's double check that because sometimes
Republican.
you just use MAGA facts. Let's see.
Gerald Ford. Let's see what happens.
I'm kind of curious. Is this your? I mean, you have definitely got to double check everything because you definitely get your liberal. Oh, so wait a minute. You said something about Ford?
President Ford was the one that actually took on Black History Week. And then fast forward, Ronald Reagan signed the month into law. Both Republicans, by the way.
Originator Dr. Carter G. Woodson established Negro History Week in 1926, which evolved into Black History Month. Ford was the first president to recognize it the year after I was born. Negro History Week. Woo-hoo.
Just like the National Council of Legal
He
Women.
signed
Negro
the
still
first
legal.
proclamation under the new law. He didn't sign the law. He signed the proclamation under the law.
So we have two Republican presidents. What's interesting also, Leo, is no Republican president has signed any crime bill or any laws pertaining to crime. Isn't that interesting? Democrats did that.
I'm lost. What do you mean by that?
Bill Clinton signed the crime law bill.
Oh, well, Clinton was the worst.
I don't
Full
know.
stop.
He's in the Epstein files, but we don't talk about him so much.
Well, he wasn't. Oh, well, you want to bring Clinton up? What did I tell you was going to happen when Clinton was forced to testify? But I gazed into my crystal ball and I said he's going to testify against Donald Trump. Trump's going to get scared and pull out. Sound familiar?
Is that what
What
happened?
happened this week?
Let me see.
Oh, you don't know? Bubba said, "Okay, let's testify publicly." Now Donald Trump's like, "Oh, what they're doing to him is horrific. We shouldn't make him testify. Why is there a witch hunt on the Clintons?"
Let's see. Yeah, Clinton's smart. You're gonna try to make it into a little political theater. Okay.
No, they didn't try to make it into a political theater. What he said was, "If you want me to testify, let everybody hear it. Like in a public testimony. What is political about? What theater is that?" The theater was dragging him into court. Him saying, "Make it public," seemed like, I have nothing to hide.
Okay, well, we'll
Why
see.
isn't Donald Trump testifying publicly?
Well, let's see what happens
All the
next.
stuff that came out about Trump, Trump and little girls, I ain't heard not a word about Bubba and no little girl. And he's willing to come out and testify publicly. Your boy Trump raping little girls. Full stop.
I don't know about that, but okay.
That's what's in the files.
I
That
don't think
his
so.
Department of Justice under Pam Bondi release. Hello and welcome to the think tank. We use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased and logical conclusions. Today, we're here to talk about what in the hell is wrong with the racism in the MAGA party. And it spans across the board. It goes from chasing down people because they're speaking a different language and look Hispanic to making black people into monkeys. The racism knows no bounds. This is something that, if you're an American, you're probably very well aware of. We're going to discuss it a little bit deeper here tonight on the think tank. So, I guess we could start off with Minnesota and the fact that yet another killing has occurred. Or we can skip that and come on to that later since it's not in the notes so far. You know who your party loves? Israel. So does the Democrats, apparently.
That's right.
Chuck Schumer's talking about sending more money to Israel.
Yes, he is.
We're talking about suffering in this country, and Chuck Schumer wants to send money out of the country. Chuck Schumer needs to go. All right. I think we can both agree on that, right? Oh no, you probably like Chuck Schumer because he's such an easy mark. Okay. Crickets.
No, I'm sorry. I just went to the article here on the Ground News. Hi, everybody. I'm District Leader Dion Powell of the Bronx Conservative Party. America First, Borderline America Only, MAGA kind of guy, community consultant, strategic partner here at the think tank, community organizer and leader. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, Dion. It's always a pleasure to have you, have my political debating sparring partner. He likes to call it dancing. And this is just like hip hop. We used to bop and get down with it, you know what I'm saying? To give it up. But this isn't a dance. We throw jabs, we throw kicks, we throw punches. About to throw in our dookie. What is going on with your party and all this racism?
What racism do you speak of?
Let's start with what's going on in all of the blue cities across the country, where they're running around chasing people because they're Spanish.
Nobody cared when Obama did it, Clinton did it, Bush did it, but the media, the enemy of the state, they are very focused on this. So people see it under a microscope. But a lot of people don't see what the media is not reporting. All the black people being killed by migrants, all the women being raped by the migrants, people getting set on fire by the migrants in New York City subway systems. So yes, we're here to give you the truth from the other point of view. You may not like the way the sausage is made, but it's going to take delicious once this crisis is averted.
Somebody in MAGA talking about sausages. Listen, here's the deal. All of this stuff was going on all this time. Crime has been like this, and it's been all migrants, but we are just now figuring this out because dumb Donald's in charge. Are you kidding me? You think the American people are stupid, or are you just in that much of a bubble that you can't see outside? Where it's like people are like, "Yo, we're more terrorized by ICE spraying our streets up with tear gas and pepper spray than we are by migrants."
Sorry, but on social media, we have many black people and others who are airing out their grievances about the migrants and the real truths of the matter. So this device is the most dangerous tool that we have as American citizens when it comes to real-time information and is sharing it amongst each other. We don't have to rely on the big legacy media to tell us the news anymore. We have our own.
Accurate. You have people like Nicki Minaj. Oh, wait. What is going on with your girl, Nicki Minaj? Maybe you should pay attention. What's going on with your girl, Nicki Minaj? She was playing with the sausage, doing whatever it took to be able to try and keep her citizenship here. Oh, wait. Was I not supposed to say that? So why was she Trump's #1 fan? Do you understand what the game is? Did you catch it? Did you?
No.
Hmm.
Well, I just know that, allegedly she's got the gold card now. So her citizenship here in America seems to be secured.
So do you think that she was doing all this so she can get the gold card, perhaps because she was an illegal immigrant? Do you think that's why she suddenly became such a big Trump supporter?
No. I think she became a big Trump supporter way back when the COVID lockdown happened, and she posted on social media that her cousin's friend so and so said they had an irregular menstrual cycle after taking the vaccine, and the whole world turned on her. The only person that threw her a lifeline was Candace Owens. Ever since then, Nikki didn't forget. Fast forward, now that they're coming for Trump, she's starting to stand up and say, "Hey, this is wrong. People are always going to come after us." And she defended the Christians in Nigeria, and she's pushing the Christian brand now. So isn't that interesting?
Tell you what I found interesting. What I found interesting was the truth.
Oh.
Here's the truth. Suddenly you have somebody who's an illegal immigrant defending the president, and they end up with what they thought was a gold card. But What she didn't realize was the color of her skin made her expendable regardless of how much money she was worth and what fanfare she had. So what occurred was she was presented with a gold card in public for all the fanfare, but when the lights went out, the truth came out. Oh, that was just for show. That's not a real gold card. Sorry, honey. Now she's still got to worry about being deported.
Because the liberal progressives are putting out a petition to deport her since she left the mental plantation of the blue team and not towing the party line. So it's not most Trump people, it's the blue team that wants her deported. Isn't that sad?
So then why did Trump trick her into thinking she was safe?
I don't know anything about that. All I know is the petition going around trying to deport her coming from the Democrat supporters.
If she got a gold card, she couldn't be deported.
Okay. Well, that's still
So
not the
since she
point.
didn't get a, but she was tricked into thinking she had a gold card. She was walking around social media singing and dancing about how she got her gold card, and Trump was like, no, which is how Trump treats people of color. Maybe you should pay attention.
Well, I am paying attention how the
You
Democratic
didn't
Party
even know.
no, people are black people are expendable with the Democratic Party if they outlive their usefulness and leave the blue team alone and tell others to do the same, like Nicki Minaj.
So you're not comprehending that Nicki Minaj went all the way out on a limb to support Trump as an illegal immigrant, thinking she was going to get this gold card, and she gets presented with this gold card in public, but it was a token. It wasn't real, and she could still be deported. And you think the Democrats leave black people exposed? Ha! Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming in not a week later. Not a week later, we have Donald Trump doing far more crazier things to just complete. I tried to put a thumbnail together today exposing what Donald Trump did to the Obamas. And I was trying to do it using ChatGPT. ChatGPT said, I can't create that, it's too racist. Even ChatGPT was like, nah, bro, that's too racist. I can't do that. Now, I want you to take a look at this picture. I don't have it pulled up. I erased it by accident. So I'll pull it up now. If I what that did not go the way I had anticipated. I must be straightforward. Wow. Okay. Well, let us take a gander. Maybe I should let you do it because you like to go to our partners at Ground News. Who would have?
You said no promos. So
This is a live. We can so if you plug them in a live, that's different. I can't do a commercial here. This picture that Donald Trump posted was a week after he did that to Nicki Minaj. Black people, the most prominent black people on the planet as monkeys. And I know what you're going to say already. I already know exactly what's going to come out your mouth because of my psychic abilities. But I'm not going to put the words in your mouth. I'm going to let you do this to the audience yourself. How do you defend that?
well, my friend, if I could take time out to share my screen to show you my guy, Dom LaCree, who's a very big influencer online, I'm going to actually let him tell the side of the story. Oh, wait a minute. Let me actually stop this and make sure that I have the sound shared on because sometimes that's often a problem. I may have gotten ahead of myself. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Can you see my screen?
I'm looking at it.
I'm sorry, guys. Let me just. All right, you see Dom. Let me turn the volume up so you can hear it.
Video of this because I posted a tweet and I know videos go farther than tweets, so share this far and wide. Look at the video. You can see it's a reel that's screen recorded. I don't know the intern that posted. Fire that nigga immediately. But it's a reel. You can see it slides up. When it slides up, you can see the monkey video right after. So the video about election fraud, which Democrats, as you can tell, they want to ignore that part. They want to completely ignore that entirely long video, but they focus on a 2-second clip that was screen recorded. It was all screen recorded at once when it slides up, and you can verify this because there's a watermark on the second video. I even attached the full video with all the monkeys, all the Democrats, all these animals put together. You can just tell at the initial start, it put the Obamas there. And I believe through AI generation, I don't even think the original creator of that content intended that. I think the AI knew since the Obamas are darker, they felt like their face would fit more on the monkey. This is how AI works. It's not that much of a reach. But the real problem is, why the hell would niggas screen record the video instead of just downloading it? That's how you know President Trump getting old. He's just like a grandfather. And now he has these interns that obviously ain't prepared for the job. It is what it is. But you can't label my president as racist. That's my nigga.
You heard the man. That's my guy, Dom, former Blexit, Tennessee. There you go.
Absolute idiot. The
Shout
man
to the
walks around
3,000
on his.
viewers right now. 3,000 viewers right there.
Thank you for
right
coming.
now.
Sorry about the N-word being proclaimed so prominently on this channel so many times by a complete and total moron.
Well, he had the hard evidence, so speaks for itself.
The hard evidence contradicts everything that President Trump said. So his defense is to go against the president? Sounds like MAGA.
Black MAGA.
Sounds like black MAGA. Ah, wow. See that? We're on the same page. Black MAGA. Only black MAGA will defend Donald Trump by arguing with what he says. Only black MAGA. Thank you for bringing that idiot on for me to be annoyed at.
As you can clearly see, we don't name call on here. So
while he said the N-word like 5 times, I think that is, since that is the most offensive word in the English language.
Yeah, right. Until it's in a rap music video. Ha 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 ha.
You mean to tell me that in your whole, first of all, it's a 1 minute and 2 second long video on himself found the social media platform The Social 1144. First of all, he went so hard back at this, he said he didn't post it. That's what he said last. He didn't post it. Now you tell me, because this idiot obviously doesn't pay attention to the news. I'm sure you wasn't aware of this either, but he said he didn't post it. So did he post it or not?
I don't know. He's getting old, like Dom said. But
So
Dom
words,
did show the entire video. What Dom just presented to the world right now is that there's more political animals than just Michelle and Barack Obama. So it's a part of a bigger tapestry here. So there's nothing racist to see here, and that's the point. Everybody can get it. Remember I said that on another episode? Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it.
So let me get this right. In your opinion, it's all right for President Donald Trump, your Uncle freaking Trump, to make black people into monkeys. That's fine with you.
Well, first of all, I don't think he did it.
Is it fine with you?
I don't think he did it. That's the first thing. And number two, yes.
Oh, okay, now you're saying that he's telling the truth and didn't do it. That's fine. If he didn't do it, I'll accept that. Now let me ask you a question. If he didn't do it, with all of the crazy stuff that's proclaimed from this account, that control tariffs, that control markets worldwide, that controls the U.S. freaking military, things he says from this account, who the hell is doing it? Who is his auto pen?
We have to wait and see. But so far, there's nothing to see.
Stephen Miller's the answer. Stephen Miller. We don't have to. This is
so you blame Stephen Miller now? Okay.
Absolutely, 100%. What else question? Unless I have no questions, it's Stephen Miller. Donald Trump doesn't have the facilities anymore. What do you think?
I just told you what I think. That this is a bigger tapestry of political animals that was used. And whoever's controlling Donald Trump's Truth Social and social media, they're to blame. So I'll take that at face value. Nothing malicious to see here.
Oh no, it's definitely. Here's what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened just in case you don't know. He has a very large part of his MAGA base that's very racist. That video with them at the end was meant to trigger that racist base. Didn't have to be up for long. You got people hanging it on their walls. You got people with that as their screensaver on their phones right now. And if you don't believe that, then you're not tethered to the reality that we all live in.
Yeah, I guess not. Because here on this side of the fence, black people are focused. The whistle, racism, look over there. Go get it, black people.
But
That doesn't work on the
the
right.
racism, the calls about racism in the party are coming from inside the party. The people that are exiting from under MAGA because of it. You got the top 2 females. You got half the podcasters. Everybody's calling out the racism in this party right now. If you don't, the only people that don't see it are the black people that are walking around that are talking about woke while they're sleeping. Those are the only people that don't see it. Because the white people that are racist, they see it clear as day. They know what they're looking at. They laughing their ass off. Look at them black monkeys. That's what they're doing. The white people that are on our side, listen. During the civil rights era, the March on Washington was penetrated by white people. But you know what? You know what? Abolitionists have always been with us. We've always had white people lock in step with us, marching and helping us for our rights. The Underground Railroad story be false or not, there were white people putting their families' lives at risk trying to help black people escape slavery. While we had Uncle Tom's back on the farm talking about our master the bestest since the slavery times. Ain't nothing changed. Except for now it's Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is right in your face. Nicki Minaj, come on, sister, I'll help you out. You ain't got to worry about being deported. Here's your gold card. Psych! The the classy Obamas, they monkeys to him. You think it was nothing to see here by accident. That was the whole point of that video. To give his racist base something that they could laugh at and start feeling a little more secure, to rally them, to keep them closer behind him. You better wake up and see something, black man.
Guess what? All it did was trigger the left and distract them from probably what's really going on. Shout out. Now we have
No, because what's
4,700
really
people
going on
watching.
is during the Super Bowl, this man's attacking Tehran. This man is under the cover of the Super Bowl declaring war on Iran, and Iran's like, yo, bring it. We're going to attack all your bases. Let's do this. That's what's really going on. But I'm not sleep. I'm woke. I bet you didn't even know that.
Well, I'm not woke and I'm not easily
I know.
distracted by all these feelings. So once again, we have to make sure that we wait and watch and see and not just react. So we got 4,800 people watching right now. So thank
Wow.
you guys.
Wow, we hit a new high. Wow. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming in. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Leave your comments in
Wow.
the chat. Right now, the chat is kind of quiet. So I'll start it off.
Okay. 4,800 people when it's quiet. That's fine. I'll take that. Sometimes we get a lot of people, sometimes we don't. But one thing I do know is that I get my reports and not a single one's a bot. So I take it all and gratefully. Thank you all for coming. If you do want to chat, check it out. We in there. We respond to everybody in the chat. We'll call you out. Please bring out interesting points. Tell us what you think. What do you think? Do you think that when he put them, do you think that he did the post? And do you think that it was supposed to be racially, it was supposed to be inspire racism? It had a racial undertone to it purposely? Do you think that was actually a mistake? Tell me what you think in the chat as we move on.
Hopefully, we could break 5K viewers. Keep going, family.
SCOTUS holds NDAs against all White House employees. If you leave the White House, You can't do a tell-it-all book. Not like the one I wrote as a fan fiction that got stolen by Courtney Burgess and was published by Chris Todd. Not like my book, which was a fake tell-it-all, a real tell-it-all. Well, they pretended like it was real. The amount of fraud committed in that. That's about to come out. We're going to be talking about that, but not on this platform. We're going to rock that. But they're not allowed to come out and say what happened in the White House, or they'll be breaking an NDA. Now, if you learned anything from the Puffy trial, you know that that NDA is about as powerful as toilet paper when it comes to being summoned to the court. But under normal circumstances, like writing your own book or going on talk shows and talking, you wouldn't be able to do that. It would be a violation. But if the courts call you and you got to come in and testify, that NDA it doesn't hold water. Why do you think Donald Trump has got people signing NDAs and SCOTUS is holding White House employees to those NDAs?
Well, that's not what I found on Ground News. You see, on Ground News, we have various article here from left, right, and center. So, according to this article, the reason why that there was NDAs be signed because there's leaks coming out of the Supreme Court. And this is the nice paragraph that we have here. Just weeks after confidential memo supporting broad immunity for Donald Trump service in the press, Justice Roberts, 71, mandated that court staff sign legally binding NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, as reported by New York Times citing foreign sources. The action followed shortly after Trump's reelection and came on the heels of earlier leaks, including a draft decision in 2020 Dobbs versus Jackson case obtained by Politico. The Supreme Court aligned for comment. Now, if you remember, it's all about history, baby. Remember how the Roe v. Wade being overturned was leaked and some other high Supreme Court decisions? The Supreme Court can't have that happen again. And that's the way I see it.
Which had nothing to do with anything I said at all.
Well, this is what came up on Ground News.
I said the White House has NDAs. You put up something happening within the court system. These are separate branches of government. Perhaps you're not aware that there are 3 branches of government, and what you're talking about is the courts. I'm talking about the executive branch and the White House, and everybody under the president has assigned NDAs, and SCOTUS is holding them to that.
Oh, that's not what I found. I got to look that up again. But this is from February 3rd. Let's see. Today's the 8th. Let's see.
And while you're looking for that, we can continue on with other very, very scary things. So Donald Trump wants to take, let's move on to something important. Donald Trump wants to take control of voting in blue states. Oh, you found no, you still.
I didn't find it, no.
Donald Trump wants to take control of voting in blue states. He wants to make voting national. He's taking control of ballots in Fulton County. He wants to put ICE agents surrounding polling booths because of illegal immigrants. He wants to redistrict. Some of us call it gerrymandering. He wants to strike down the second portion of the Voting Rights Act that protects against the part of the Voting Rights Act that protects against racism at the voting booths. What did I say was wrong? Everything I said was correct. I just went through a list of things this man is trying to do to interfere with elections. You tell me one of them that's wrong.
Well, this is about what he calls election integrity. He wants to.
I didn't get to the SAVE Act. I didn't get to the SAVE Act. So you're talking about somebody. Hold on. I named everything else. I didn't even get to the SAVE Act yet. That's the next one. Name something I said wrong that I said yet. Because I need 7 different things, and then we'll get to the SAVE Act.
So far, I don't see anywhere where he wants to have ICE at polling sites.
Go to ground news.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's see. ICE at polling sites. All right. Okay, let's share the screen. Our partners at Ground News. Hopefully you guys will use this tool. All right, so this is when you put in the keywords up here, ICE and poll sites, you get these various articles. I like to actually go to the one that has, okay, we're going to go with the 7th because it asks us in the question, could ICE agents be deployed to poll sites in November? All right, this is what Fox 10 Phoenix says. The White House fired back at Trump. Chief strategist Steve Bannon, after he said poll sites could be surrounded by ICE agents and military. Now let's go to a column.
Hold on, wait, slow down. Hold on. Fired back at Trump's former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon after the White House strategist said they would do it. Go ahead.
Well, Steve Bannon is not in the White House anymore. You know, he has his own.
Right. Well, go ahead. Hold up. So the chief strategist at the time said it. So this is one time it was said. It was said multiple times. Trump said it himself multiple times. I heard him out my own mouth. But go ahead.
Well, this article is actually in the center, and according to Ground News, it's very highly factual. So we're going to go with Fox 10 Phoenix. Seems reasonable enough from Fox News. Now let's see what happens here. Show more. All right. I'll tell me, I think it's going to try to take us to a video. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's still loading because we're on Zoom. It's taking a lot out of it. But it's gonna make and
You're
leaves up.
breaking up. So I think you might be
Yeah,
doing
it's
too much
not
to your
sure.
internet.
Yeah, I'm pulling too much. There you go.
All
Sorry about
right.
that, guys.
Well, I'm not using ground news. I'm just gonna just right across the spectrum. Politico. Democrats sound alarm about possible voter intimidation. Time Magazine. Time Magazine. Bennett calls on Trump to send ICE. Democracy docket. White House can't guarantee ICE won't be opposed. Senator Markey. Markey raises alarm bells over the Trump administration's threats of ICE at polling. Reuters. Trump has no formal plans to deploy ICE. He has no formal plans. White House asks ICE um, at White House asked if ICE will be there. Caroline Levitt said with this, there's no formal plans. That was Caroline Levitt's denial. She didn't say it wouldn't be there. She said there's no formal plans. But Donald Trump's doubled and tripled down on the fact that they need ICE at polls because the elections are being interfered with. There's crooked elections. He's doubled and tripled down. He intends to deploy ICE. So that was 7 things. And then is, of course, the wonderful, magical, mysterious SAVE Act. What is the SAVE Act, Dion? I want you to tell them what the SAVE Act is.
Well, that's something that deals with election integrity. All right, now if you guys want, I can go back to Ground News to get a better definition here. Save Act.
So far, I've named 7 different ways that he's trying to interfere with the election. This is number 8.
Okay. Now let's see. I usually like to go to the most recent article. Let's see. What's February 8th? Let's see. Freeland on U.S. versus no, we don't want that one. Let's go to February 8th. We have 2 articles here. And one's National News Act Fiji. This is highly factual and it leans right. So far, there's no left or center articles on this one. All right, let's see.
We don't need it. All your right-leaning articles are saying the same thing I'm saying. I think you're on the right? So all of your guys are saying what I'm saying. Is that what's happening?
No, they're going to actually eloquently break down why we need the SAFE Act to support election integrity. All right, here we go. And as you can see right here, Democrats have been interfering with and cheating elections since at least the mid 1800s. So it's really not surprised they continue to do so today, even greater scale. The FBI recently raided the elections office in Fulton County, Georgia, as a part of ongoing investigation of the parent 2020 fraud there. Now, Trump is lobbying for Senate to pass legislation requiring proof of citizen to vote in federal elections. And basically, most of the polling shows that even Democrats and Republicans, over 70% each, agree that there should be showing ID. It's not a really big deal. And we got 4,500 people watching. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
All right, all right. Well, what is the SAVE Act? I don't
Yes,
know.
let's see what you got to show us.
This is congress.gov bill. So this is the actual bill here, right? This is actually what they're looking at. This is HR 22, right? This is the actual SAVE Act. This is in the news, blah, 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 blah. This is what Congress is looking at. Am I correct with your civil understanding?
Yep, civic education. That's where it's at.
All right, because that's not my field of expertise. I'm a filmmaker, so I gotta ask. We ask the expert in the room. Okay. So, the bill prohibits states from registering an individual to vote in federal elections unless, at the time the individual applies to register to vote, the individual provides documentary proof of U.S. citizenship and requires states to establish an alternate process under which an applicant may submit or other evidence to demonstrate U.S. citizenship. What documents are acceptable as U.S. citizenship?
Driver's license, social
That's
security
not a
card,
that's not a U.S. No. Well, let's take a look. Go
passport,
to
because you can't travel the country without a smart
a
ID or a
passport
passport.
is indeed evidence of U.S. citizenship. Is there anything else, audience?
Birth certificate?
Those are the two that if you were born in the United States, you can use. Hold on, run up in this chat. This is such an important discussion. Are democratic norms really at risk? Yes, they are. What do you think? Should federal government ever intervene in state election administration? That's what we discussed. And thank you for that question. The answer is by the Constitution, no, they should not. States have the right to control the voting. The federal government interference is illegal. Horrifying. You already need documentation currently to vote. I signed up to vote at the DMV at the same spot I got my documentation where I needed my birth certificate. Voting has been secure. Chrissy, what state are you from? And the birth certificate is the other one. What is interesting about the birth certificate, Dion? Do I have to remind my audience?
Most black men's father's name is not on it, like mine. Ah, I kid the single mothers out there.
Well, and Chrissy's from New York. Chrissy says that in New York, where you're at, Dion, documentation is needed. That's my experience as well, being a New Yorker for 35 to 40 years. I don't know. Our experience seems to differ from yours, but you have an agenda. Here's how I see it. Here's the thing, right? If you have a birth certificate and you're born with that, and let's say you're a woman and you get married and you change your last name and you become Mrs. So and so, your name changes and no longer matches that birth certificate. And just like J.D. Vance went on and on and on about married women shouldn't have the right to vote under the J.D. Vance church, you know, you Christians, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, right?
That's
Women who
one
change their last
example.
name won't match their birth certificate. They cannot present their birth certificate as proof of evidence. So unless they have a passport, married women won't be able to vote under the SAVE Act.
I think they're going to work out those kinks. But on the
That's not a
federal
kink. That was
level,
an intentional. That was the whole point of it.
well, on the
Or one of
federal
the points.
level, the United States Senate and US Congress, all their election dates, the president are all on the same timeline. November. Municipal and state elections, that's regulated on the states. When the federal level, when it comes to federal election elected officials, that has to be on the same frequency.
Thanks for coming, in, Debos and Chrissy. Always good to see you. Um, Something is wrong. You believe that this president is not racist, and you believe that he doesn't. He's going to protect women's rights. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. But it makes for good entertainment because I'm entertained. I can't believe it. You honestly believe that this man is going to? He's trying to get them to pass the SAVE Act right now. They're like, oh, hold up, time out. Whoa, this law, bro. This law, man. And he's like, pass the bill. And they're like, oh, but it says, I mean, the way it's written, it says, and he's like, pass the bill now. And you think he's trying to protect them?
For election integrity, the president is. That's what the SAVE Act is for.
No, the SAVE Act is what the other 7 other things were designed to do, like redistricting and all the other things I named. It's all to try and steal the election.
No, he's trying to protect the election from being tainted like it was in 2020 by mail-in ballots, people who shouldn't be voting, unpurged voter
The
files.
man is losing elections for his under his in ruby red states where he won by large margins since he's enacted his bill, since he's done the horrendous things he's done. Even his own people are voting against him in large margins. You don't think he can see? You don't see that. I understand. You're
No.
like, my glasses are MAGA tainted. You don't see what's right in front. He sees it. You might
Well,
not see
they
it.
are concerned about losing the midterms. I will give you that. As well, they should be. But we still have
As
time.
unpopular as their reign has been, I agree with you on that. See, we found common ground. They should must be very concerned. I'm concerned for them. Listen, as a black man, if you don't see what happened to Nicki Minaj, I'm concerned for you.
Nicki
Same way,
Minaj is a multimillionaire. She'll be fine.
I think Nicki Minaj is a billionaire,
I don't think so.
and
That's Rihanna.
she's probably going to be deported.
I don't know about that, but hey, anything's possible in America.
Donald Trump played her like a fiddle. Black people are hopping aboard. White people too. Doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. He's getting everybody. But what he did to Nicki Minaj was especially egregious. You do not understand that she did everything that this man wanted, and he was like, all right, I got you, psych. You don't understand that. You don't grasp that she is now able to be deported right this second after all that because
If the
Donald Trump,
Democrats had their way, they would deport her, but not Donald Trump. So
they don't have the power to deport her. Donald Trump does. And after she supported deportations for illegal immigrants, maybe she should be deported, is what the Democrats are saying. I, on the other hand, have a different opinion on it. I understand where the Democrats are coming from. The Democrats are saying, oh, you was all about deporting illegal immigrants, right? Deport you, Nicki Minaj, are an illegal immigrant. Same way you think they should be deported, we should put your behind in the cage and get you out of here too. That's what Democrats are saying, and I comprehend it. I understand it. I don't agree with it.
Democrats will be racist as soon as you become a black conservative. You'll see.
Here's my take on it.
Okay.
I feel bad for Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
She did everything she could. She got a husband and brother and all types of wild legal problems. She's an illegal immigrant. She figured get on the team and Donald Trump will look out for her. She, plays along. And instead she just got played. And she did all that and made herself look like a damn fool for nothing. And so now, not only did she alienate her base, but she did it for nothing because she got played. And I don't see where she had a choice. Because if she spoke out against them, she definitely would have been kicked out. If she had spoken out there, they came and got her that day. I don't see where she had a choice. So I feel bad for her. Because I'm sure Donald Trump put her in a sling where she had no choice. Because isn't that how Donald Trump gives it up, Dion?
That's just Trump being Trump. But Nicki Minaj is a multimillionaire. She's gonna be fine. But hopefully, she'll inspire more artists and other Black predominant figures in our culture to actually come over and be more public about it. Like Jennifer Hudson, who Donald Trump has helped when she was in her time of need. So stay tuned, family. We have 3 more years to go.
Donald Trump's not going to survive 3 years.
You see, this is
Thank you,
that kind of
Raman
negative talk.
Hassan. Thank you, Raman Hassan. Federal invention versus states' rights and elections is the hot debate ahead of the midterms. Yeah, we got to talk about it. They're trying to steal the elections. At this point, if Democrats don't do something, they're going to do it. And the Chuck Schumers and the Jeffries are not. King Jeffrey is not it. These guys are
These are
right
Democrat
now.
leaders, minority
Right now,
leaders.
I'm gonna do a big video on this coming this week. The way to stop Trump is to defund ICE. Everything else will fall apart. If you defund ICE, he can't control the polls. People will come out to vote. People will stop getting harassed in the streets. People will start getting pepper sprayed and tear gas in their neighborhoods. Take away his private police force, which is as large as which is so large it is the fifth largest militia in the world that is using only blue states against people they think are going to actually vote against him. He put together a police force and placed them in places. He put together a police force and placed them in areas that will vote against him. And that's what happened. Full stop. Dion, you might not like how I said it, but can you debate what I said?
We're not in November yet of 2026.
It's not. It has nothing to do with what I said. I said
That's
he
the
put together
federal
a police.
elections.
I said he put together a police force
Mhm.
that's as large as the fifth largest militia in the world.
You mean ICE?
Yes, and
Okay.
then placed them in areas that will vote against them. Is that not what happened?
I don't know if you mean polling sites, but you're talking about sanctuary cities. If you're saying sanctuary cities, that's a
All
part
of the
of
cities that he placed them in are not sanctuary cities. No,
Okay, well, there you go. And they're not blue cities either, right?
aren't they?
They're red states. All the border states of Mexico, they can get it too. So just ask
But they're
Texas.
blue cities, right? They're places that'll vote against them, right?
No, ICE is everywhere, my friend.
Where
But you
is he
said blue,
concentrating his
the
forces?
blue cities are the ones, the sanctuaries especially, are the ones that's being obstructionists to ICE doing their jobs.
Let me ask you a question. Is Minnesota a sanctuary city?
Minnesota?
Is Washington, D.C. a sanctuary city?
DC, not anymore, now that Trump has more control.
It was never a sanctuary city.
It's not really a city per se, it's a district.
Exactly. So then what you said,
That
so it's
was
not
a
a
trick
sanctuary
question.
city?
You got me. You got me. You got me with a gotcha question, Leo. You got me.
Yeah, I did. We did. I really did. That was really a setup. And you walked right
Because you
in.
went from Minnesota, oh, DC. I'm like, okay, well,
Well, is Minnesota a sanctuary city?
Minnesota is a state.
That's
Minneapolis is a city.
Minneapolis.
Nice try. Give me twice.
Okay. Is it now? You're right, actually. Is Minneapolis a sanctuary city?
Minneapolis? I believe it is. With Governor Tim Walz and that liberal mayor, of course. Sanctuary city, sanctuary state. So just ask your AI.
So are sanctuary cities most likely to vote against them?
Probably so.
So he placed these police force.
ICE is everywhere, Leo. No police force. You guys say ICE. You keep interchanging police force and ICE.
I'm not
It's
interchanging them.
ICE.
We went through this before. What's the definition of a police force? Is ICE a police force? Do I have to pull it back up? Do I have to remind
You're
you?
just sensationalizing ICE. Just say ICE.
Uh, is ICE a police force or not?
Okay, fine. Law enforcement.
Is ICE a police force or not? Because you keep telling me, oh, you're using this, you're using that. Is it the correct definition of the word?
It's a type of police force, I guess. Fine.
Okay, so then stop trying to stop me from using the right words. I know that MAGA has a problem with
Keep interchanging ICE
etymology.
for a minute and then police force another word and then militia. You got to be consistent with these people. They're going to get lost.
No,
3,800.
they 3,800.
3,800 people watching.
Ooh,
So we're down some.
a lot. Okay.
Well, we have 4,500-ish as the top one, and now we're down to 39. It's like fluctuating by like maybe 500, 600 people.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Well, we playing them videos was the most we've ever lost. We're gonna stay away. Where did we lose people? We got to pitch into that. That was those are interesting numbers. So the police force, the fifth largest militia in the world, is a police force named ICE in the United States. ICE has been deployed into cities that will vote against Trump in the future, in the upcoming elections, that if he loses, an impeachment will surely follow. An impeachment would likely lead to him losing power and many people around him going to jail, even though, in all likelihood, he would avoid jail himself due to the immunity that he has because of the office that he possesses. Did I update everybody correctly, Dion?
Not so much. That was a different spin on it, as always. But again, it's fairly early.
So what did I say that
And
was wrong?
well, again, you're making people have the assumption that ICE, the law enforcement that it is exclusive to cities that Trump is going to lose when that's not the case. ICE is everywhere.
Where are their forces concentrated? Like, for instance, let's look at Minneapolis, right? Where there's 5 ICE agents to every single police officer. They outnumber the police in that city 5 to 1. Would you say that that's throughout the entire nation, or that it's concentrated in areas like that where they're likely to vote against Trump?
No, we got the border states, we have Florida, but the mainstream media is not showing you what's going on in those respective areas. They're only showing you in sanctuary cities to try to create the whole storyline that Trump is trying to steal the election by putting ICE in there to intimidate and all those wonderful things, which is not true.
Well, that's where they're terrorizing American citizens. That's where they're shooting people in the face. That's where they're beating
There we
people.
go.
That's where they're smashing. What? Oh my God! Don't talk about what's happening. That's where they're smashing people's cars and dragging them out with masks on and no badges and insignias like it's Grand Theft Auto. This is where they're hitting people with pepper sprays. This is where they're tear gassing priests in in these cities that will vote against Trump. They're not doing that in Texas and Florida now, are they?
We don't know that. The media itself, the enemy of this people, is not presenting that information, unfortunately. So that's why you have to see certain articles on ground news.
Do you believe that's happening in Texas and Florida? Are you saying that ICE is probably acting like that with Trump supporters?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just
Exactly.
saying that we don't
Exactly.
know because the mainstream media is not showing it for some reason. But the border is closed. We do know that much.
We don't know that because Donald Trump walks back on that too. You know what Donald Trump said about the border? Donald Trump said these they're sneaking in these drugs through the borders. They're closed, but these guys are really sneaky. They can sometimes sneak things in. So he literally Gemini's and talks out of both sides of his face at the same time. The borders can't possibly be 100% closed. That's a lie. It's not possible.
It is possible with a new president and with Tom Homan, the border czar, who got an award from Barack Obama.
I understand that you want to believe everything that sounds good that comes out of Trump's mouth,
That's in
but
fact.
out of but
Trump
no,
didn't
it's
have to
not a
say it.
fact.
People on the internet discovered it. And
It's
so
not
the people,
possible to have closed the entire border. It's not possible. Can it be down a huge amount? That's almost 100% likely. I can't see it not being down such a large percent that it's that it would be dramatic by comparison. To shut it down 100%, not possible. The border is too large. There's not enough people to cover all the areas. And, I know that's difficult to comprehend. I know math isn't your strong suit. I know you have a genius mind and math isn't your strong suit. But listen to me
there
when
we
I tell
go.
you there's not enough agents in all of the federal government to cover every inch of the border. And they don't, and what they could have done if they really wanted to shut down was they could have used technology, but they never did that. So why they never use technology? Because they didn't want to do. They wanted to build walls. Why not build a laser beam? Right? There's not to be a real laser, but like a home intrusion device that just has the entire place scanned, and if somebody comes through, you know it immediately. If you wanted to really shut the borders down, that technology is readily available. So if you didn't do that, you wasn't really trying to shut the borders down. It was a horse and pony show with people like you. I'm telling you, we got all these agents. We shut the border down. Really? You paid all of you? You paid how much these new ICE agents? You got how many ICE agents? And you didn't just put up a piece of technology that would have told you when somebody crossed over, like if somebody opens the door in your house, or like little like little red beams, like somebody walked into a bank. You couldn't use technology and do something that was smart. You're lying. You're lying, and only people that are not using critical thinking capabilities and working out the problem and looking at the map and really truly understanding what's happening are going to believe you. Somebody takes one look at the map and is like, no, that math don't math. So since the math ain't mathing, the technology's there. AI makes it so that this technology they use will be superior. They've done none of that. They didn't use math. They didn't use technology. They didn't use AI. They could have very easily really shut the borders down. There's not enough people. There's not enough manpower to shut the border down. You have been lied to yet again. And then I'm saying it to you. Some of the things I'm saying is making sense. I know something like that would work though if they did that. That kind of makes sense. Like I know it makes sense. I know it makes sense. I know you thought about it. You're like, yo, that kind of like, yo, that what? Why didn't they do that? And the reason they didn't do that is because that wasn't the goal. If I can sit here and come up with that by myself, and you have the best military personnel with all the technology capability and money that the world could possibly use sitting in the office with them, and they didn't come up with that, it's because it wasn't their goal. Does that make sense to you? No.
I can't say, but I will say this that we are in a midterm year. Things are happening very fast, but the most of the population, over 70% across the board, agree with voter ID. That's the poll numbers, and I'm inclined to believe it because the pollster analysis on CNN said it. He's actually pretty good on CNN, even though the rest of CNN is kind of trash. But the one that does the polling, he's pretty good.
Maybe some people want to have that. It's a possibility. I secure polls. I'm good with secure polls. The SAVE Act doesn't work as it is. Donald Trump's trying to pass it as it is. Women, if you're listening, watch your right to vote. They're trying to take away the second portion of the Voters' Rights Act. What does that mean to you?
Well, that means that potentially the Republicans will pick up more seats if it affects redistricting countrywide, because Democrats have exhausted all their redistricting gerrymandering for their seats, but Republicans try to play by the rules. However, the Supreme Court overturns that case, they're going to redistrict it, and they may be picking up potentially 10 to 15 Republican seats these midterms. No matter how the country's going, that's probably what's going to happen.
That is wishful Donald Trump thinking, and none of that is true. But let's start with, you didn't answer the question. What does the second portion of the Voting Rights Act do?
Well, I thought it was talking about redistricting, but yes, you talk about voter access.
You don't know?
Yeah, just show me because that was the one of the things. Let me check the to do.
We've been talking about this for months.
Trump, Clinton, BlackRock, AME. No, that's not here this week.
No, we've been going over this for months. I didn't think I'd have to revamp.
The voting right.
Here we are, right? Let's just quickly go over it. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act.
Civil Rights Act. I think
Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 prohibits voting practices or procedures that discriminate on the basis of race, color, or membership in one of the language minority groups identified in Section 4F2. So this part right here. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act prohibits voting practices or procedures that discriminate on the basis of race or color. Full stop. So basically, they're trying to strike down the portion of the Voting Rights Act that protects minorities. They're literally literally about to take away protection of voting from minorities. Full stop.
It's not scaring the Black America the way it used to. I will say that much.
I don't know if it's scaring anybody, but what is happening is they are literally trying to take away voting rights and minority voting rights right this moment with two things that are literally sitting there while gerrymandering, while doing all these other things. They're literally trying to take away the power to vote Trump out. That is what's happening. That's what's happening. While doing that, he's getting his base up. See what I said? You see how I got Nicki Minaj? See how I play black folks? Look at these monkeys. He's doing all this right now in real time.
Here we go. Here we go.
Listen, name one thing I said that's not true.
Look at these monkeys.
You can't say I'm sensationalizing. I didn't
You
create
are.
black people. Put President Obama and his wife on monkey bodies. That is, what do you think is the reason behind that? He's just Trump being Trump trolling. That's what I was waiting for you to say.
Public emotions again to get people all hot and bothered and confused. Ooh, excuse me. Oh God.
So his way to get people upset and emotional is to exploit racism, to do the most racist, heinous thing he could possibly do on the internet.
We just heard from my man Dom. He played the entire clip, and the other supporting.
Dom's an idiot.
You see, we don't call each other names here on the right. It's the hateful left that's always, oh, I just call him name hateful. They always spew this stuff over here, but it just falls off us.
I am only okay. So calling him an idiot. In today's society, it's not polite to call somebody an idiot, although all an idiot means is their IQ is between 70 and 80. And today you're not allowed to use that terminology, but that is literally the etymology of the word. So I was it 50 to 60. I'm sorry, it's 50 to 60. Or more around 70 to 80. These are actually designations on the IQ chart that in polite society today you can't use. So you're right, I should not call him an idiot. I should say that he is someone who is susceptible to things that allow him to believe things that are not actually real because he might need a little bit of help in certain areas.
Okay.
See that? I don't have to call him an idiot. I don't have to call him an idiot. That's not a nice word. You're right. I apologize for using mean words.
We're just helping other content creators. Like you should be having our content as well, family. Take the information we have and make sure you put it out there.
Let's talk about one other thing. We got a couple of things to talk about. You said that you didn't understand that Clinton was going to testify publicly, even though I told you he was going to do that weeks ago. And I told you why he was going to do it. And I told you how Trump was going to react. He was going to get scared because Bill Clinton's in the files, but Bill Clinton's not in the files doing what Donald Trump's in the files doing. Bill Clinton's in the files. There was nothing bad about Bill Clinton. He went to the island. He did that. And if he's guilty of something, he should go down. But Donald Trump's in the files. He's compromised by Putin. He's doing heinous things to little girls, rape, murder, all this in the files. All of this, like this is not conjecture anymore. This was released. And then when it was found that it was released accidentally to try and cover up what happened to Renee Good and Alex Predit in Minnesota, because that was getting such bad press, they released Epstein files to shut everybody up, and only 50% of them. 3 million out of the 6 million files, by the way. Only half of them. Donald Trump's name came up thousands of times. And with one act being worse than the next, one little girl saying she was 13, he was measuring girls' private areas with his fingers, sticking them in holes, and then measuring how tight they were, and then setting. This was literally in the files, word for word. This was what was in the files. This man was sticking his fingers in holes and measuring their tightness. And he called
Yikes.
this he called these parties, he called them calendar girls. That was the term for these girls that he was measuring. They were called calendar girls.
Still not guilty of anything, so.
No, he's not guilty, but these are the allegations that were in the files. Nobody in the files is guilty except for Ghislaine Maxwell. Nobody was guilty but her. But out of all of the things in the files, he was actually the worst.
I don't
No.
know. There's a
Epstein.
lot of people redacted. There's kings, princes, prime ministers, CEOs, other global elites are in these files, but we are told to believe that President Donald Trump is the one that committed the most heinous crime. So let's focus on him. This is not about victims. This is about blackmailing the president of the United States in front of the world and trying to really take him down, family. We all see it right now. It's too blatant. All right, go.
Okay. Let's suppose what you say is true. Let's
Yeah.
go for that. Let's go with what you say is true. So because of what you're saying, you're willing to forgive all the stuff that is in the files?
No, I'm just saying that, we have to be
So
more
the answer is
transparent.
no. The fact
I
that
don't
he's
like the way the
taken by
files are being
Putin.
handled. No.
Let's take the girls out for a moment.
Oh, God.
Push them to the side. Say it's not about the victims. The fact that Putin has him under his thumb, that Putin knows how to manipulate him, is all over these files.
Now Putin is manipulating him again. We're back to that.
That's what's in the files. What do you want from me? I'm not coming back to it. That's what's in the files. That's what's in the files. It's saying that Putin has him under wraps multiple times. But you want to ignore that also?
Yes, because we have bigger fish to fry, like trying to fix this Ukraine war, which everybody's expecting Trump to do, whereas Europe can't
So
do it. Neither
wait.
can
As a
NATO.
MAGA person, as an America First person, you are fine with the fact that Donald Trump is manipulated by Putin.
I don't believe so. So,
That's what's in the files. That's what's exposed in the files.
well, I don't see it that way. So, I'm more concerned President Trump's being manipulated by another country of interest.
Well, we all know that.
Well, there you go.
That's not even up for debate. But
There you go.
the fact that the evidence has come out very strongly, you won't even pay attention to what the evidence said. You're so deep in your bubble. Have you even looked to see what I was talking about? No, because you don't even want to come outside of your bubble because it's too uncomfortable. Am I correct?
No, I just that it's not one of the top articles. Let's see. Well, ground rules. Ground news doesn't really have much on that article as well. Okay, Lutnick and Epstein were in business together. Epstein files show.
Yeah, Lutnick too. Yeah, all everybody surrounding Trump. It's crazy.
Well, so far that's the
Yes,
only connection here. Let's see, Vladimir Putin.
okay. Well, let me see what I can find right quick. Trump, Epstein,
There we go.
Epstein file. Oh, you found it? Oh, there we
So,
go.
3,600 people watching. So thank you
Okay.
guys.
Sticking in there with us. I thought. Oh, you didn't do what I thought you was doing it. All right. Let's see. YouTube, PBS. How New York Times. Let's see. New York Times gave a good report. Let's see. New York Times. That's far right leaning. You can't argue with them. The New York Times found more than 5,300 files with references. 5,300. Yo, do you know Jesus Christ was only mentioned in the Bible? Hold up. Hold up. Just for reference.
Oh God, here we go. Now you gotta bring Jesus into this.
Just for kicks and giggles.
Let's see what the AI says.
I mean, I'm sure of the answer already. I want you to.
Second one. Right there.
I
Second
just.
one. Second one.
Okay. Jesus Christ is mentioned in the Bible by name over 900 to 1,200 times. So let's say he was mentioned in the Bible 12. Jesus Christ was mentioned in the Bible 1,200 times, right? In the Holy Bible, one of the largest books ever written, Jesus Christ was mentioned 1,200 times. 1,200. Ooh, right? Okay. 1,200 times. By contrast, Donald Trump was mentioned 5,300 times. 4 times as many times as Jesus Christ was mentioned in the Bible, Trump's name came up in the Epstein files.
Jesus Christ didn't have access to email back then. How about that?
Jesus Christ was the center of the story. His name only came up 1,200 times. Trump's name came up 5,300 times. The Justice Department looked at the sexual misconduct allegations after President Trump connection with Jeffrey Epstein. Mr. Blanche's comments, which he made on the case less than 48 hours. The controversy over Mr. Epstein's dog Trump. The files are peppered with references to Mr. Trump, who had been a close friend of Epstein until 2000s. When Mr. Trump was repeatedly downplayed the relationship, the two men bonded over their pursuit of young women. Mr. Trump has denied any wrongdoing. Times to identify more than 1,500 files contained within 38,000 references to Mr. Trump. God, 38,000 references. His wife, Mar-a-Lago, and other related words and phrases in the latest batch of emails. Wow. Including another 130 files with Trump-related references. Many of the documents released on Friday mentioned Mr. Trump or new articles and other publicly available material named in unverified tips received by the FBI. Salacious information. They're very salacious. Describing details of unverified claims. The names of some of the tipsters in the document have not been whatever. Hearing from one interview in September, about a month after Epstein died, say that a victim whose name had been redacted recalled being transported in a dark green car to Mar-a-Lago to meet Trump. And this is a good one, huh? The victim recalls. I mean, it just goes on and on. Some of the doctors confirmed previous reports about Epstein and Trump, including Trump and a huge volume of information already in the public. Many of the Trump-related files that are the Times reviewed buttress or recycle those materials. Long after Mr. Epstein's relationship ended, Mr. Epstein remained intensely focused on his former friend. Also, Epstein's accounts emailed him a link of Reuters' article about congressional investigation of Mr. Trump, which for years was the president's primary lender. So now he was fiscally compromised. There's Hans Published article showing inside of Mr. Epstein's Manhattan mansion, including how he displayed photos with powerful men like Trump. We knew that already. 50th birthday email. Mm-hmm. This is Trump again. Trump and Epstein, look at them. Peas in the pod, right? New York Magazine. Called him a terrific guy. We know that. Where's some of the other stuff?
Photo of Mr. Trump. 4,200 people watching right now. We're approaching our hour and a half mark. Staying with us.
Thank you, guys. Good to have you. So, I mean, I think that's. Wait a minute. I'm talking and I'm not sharing. I thought I was sharing all this time.
I know what you were doing. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
That Donald Trump, and he's the only one Epstein styles you should pay attention to. Not Bill Gates, who gave his wife an STD. Don't forget Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, who did nothing illegal.
Oh, God. Here we go. COVID.
So, handwritten notes. FBI official at a colleague. All right. 38,000 references to Mr. Trump, his wife, and Mar-a-Lago in Florida. 38. Using a proprietary search tool, the New York Times identified more than 5,300 files containing more than 38,000 references to Trump, his wife, and his Mar-a-Lago club. That's a lot of references. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Jesus was referenced 1,200 times.
Here we go.
38,000 versus 1,200.
That proves nothing.
In a book that was about him. I mean, Jesus. This guy's he's referenced a lot.
That means nothing.
Mr. Trump is named in unverified tips received by the FBI. Mr. Trump is one of a half dozen prominent men. Half dozen is 6.
Who are the other prominent men? Who are they? They're not the president of the United States. That's why nobody cares. It's damn media.
About whom the agency's files include salacious information, according to an email. So there's 6 people. Some of that information appears to be in the form of more than a dozen tips submitted through the FBI's National Threat Operations Center in West Virginia, which means guess who had this information the entire time if it came through the FBI? Want to help them out, Dion? Your minority friend from New York? Head
Oh,
of
you
the
talking about
FBI?
Cash Patel?
FBI. So Cash Patel had this information the entire time. So that means every time Cash Patel said there was nothing there, he was lying because here it is. It all came through the FBI.
And still
Operation
proves
Center in
nothing.
West Virginia. Some of the tips include accusations of sexual abuse by Mr. Trump and Mr. Epstein. FBI officials last summer compiled the tips into a summary, which is among the files released on Friday. So the FBI had this information the entire time. So the FBI, so Cash Patel is covering up for Trump, and that's now been proven beyond a doubt, 100% fact, according to the Department of Justice. So Pam Bondi just released files a week ago showing that Cash Patel and the FBI are covering for Trump. This doesn't concern you?
No, it does not. What concerns me is that our audience has dropped from 4,500 to 2,700 now. So we're taking a dip after going over an hour and a half.
I think it's once everybody got tired of the Trump Epstein thing.
People
But
don't care about Epstein. We all know it's just trying to take down Trump at this point. There are too many people that's in there. Too many.
there's 6 people in the Senate. There's 6 people. There's 6. There's only 6. Half a dozen is 6. Trump is one of 6 people. It's not a lot of people. It's 6. And Bill Clinton said, I'll testify. I ain't got nothing to hide. Trump
We
is like, nothing
shall
to see here.
see,
Like he ain't
Bubba.
mentioned what all of these acts. And
We
being
shall
covered by Cash
see.
Patel. There's 6 of them.
We
But I
shall
digress. And
see.
it is an hour and a half. And I guess it would be time to wrap up. Any closing statements?
We are the media, and now so are you. So make sure you share this content so that way the algorithm will pay attention to us and you as we get the news out there together.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is Leon Dion signing out.